So let me guess, you're in your early 20s or you're in your teens, probably 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and you're feeling the urge and you're feeling pressure to get into a relationship. And that in itself is enough reason to tell you that now isn't the best time to get into a relationship or even get a girlfriend. Trust me. Now, before you come at me, before you attack me, yes, I know getting a relationship is the best thing one can ever think of or the best thing that can ever happen to one's life. But then, getting it at the wrong time can also be the worst thing that can ever happen to someone in one's life, and it can make you and your life miserable. Trust me. Now, there are a lot of reasons why this could go south, and the number one reason being that you have to understand who you are as a person before you even think of being in a relationship. Now, you need to know what you like, you need to know what you dislike, you need to know who you are, you need to know what interests you, you need to know what you want, you need to know what you love, you need to know your hobbies, you need to like discover yourself before you even think of getting a girlfriend. Now imagine you don't know what you like, then how then would you know what you would like in a lady? That's like impossible. Now, trust me, any relationship you embark on, any relationship you jump into, when you haven't even discovered yourself, you don't even know yourself, any relationship you jump into would crumble dramatically, and it will be a relationship filled with chaos, filled with drama, and filled with like so many stress that trust me, you don't even need them right now. You should just be comfortable being single, being alone right now because trust me, you're still a young guy who's still coming up, and you shouldn't, for any reason, even by the society, feel pressured to get into a relationship. The second reason is that everything becomes slower when you get yourself a girlfriend. Now, your job, your goals, your dreams, your aspiration, everything becomes slower when you get into a relationship. And this is because when you just newly get yourself a girlfriend, the time and energy and focus you're supposed to put into your job, into achieving your goals, into achieving your aspirations and all of that, your time and focus is now divided, and now you're trying to like manage and trying to like, you know, focus on both your relationship and your goals. Sometimes you just forget your goals, dreams, and all of that, and just put your full focus on your girlfriend, that is your relationship. And trust me, everything will crumble. If you're a student, your grades will suffer because now you're supposed to be focusing on your job, you're supposed to be focusing on getting good grades, studying, and doing all of that. But then you're having sleepless nights with your babe, sleepless nights chatting with your babe, or probably you guys had an issue and then your whole day is ruined because you're thinking all about how to solve the problem and all of that. So at the end of the day, everything, including your relationship and your goals and dreams and everything will crumble because you can't divide your time. Your jobs, your goal, your dreams and aspiration requires 100% of your time, and as well as your relationship. So if you're trying to like divide your time and try to like manage doing all of them at the same time, you realize that throughout the whole period of that relationship you haven't done anything reasonable or anything meaningful with your life. And trust me, as a young guy, just like I said earlier, before you can even think of getting into a relationship, you should have a good understanding of what you like and what you want in a relationship. So don't look for love, let love find you. And let it find you naturally. Now, let it find you naturally by defending. Let it find you naturally by developing yourself. That is working on your communication skills, your social skills, working on your personal growth, spiritually, mentally, physically, academically, or even like going to the gym and, doing all of those personal growth and all of that. Then let the love find you naturally because now, due to you developing yourself and working on yourself, your communication skills, social skills, and all of that, you know, mentally, spiritually, financially, and all of that, the woman of your dreams will reflect your values. That is the values you've been building on, your personal growth and all of that. The perfect woman will fit into your values. So then, instead of chasing and trying so hard to get a girlfriend or get into a relationship, instead you would be attracting the woman of your dreams due to your values, due to your growth as a person, as a man. You know, a lady that you're chasing will keep running because the fact that you were chasing her, she was probably running. So if you keep chasing her, she'll keep running. So instead of chasing, why not attract the perfect woman into your life? And by attracting her, you, due to you developing yourself and your life and your personal growth and all of that, it kind of attracts the perfect woman for you. And this most time I usually happen at the right time of your life because now you're not deemed fit mentally, spiritually, financially, academically, health wise to be in a relationship at that moment. Another thing you should take into consideration, and which is like very very important and you can't afford to ignore, is that you need money to make a relationship work. And trust me, a relationship cannot work solely and mainly on the love both of you have for each other. It can't work. And just like the video said, love is sweet, but when money enters love, it even becomes sweeter. And that is like very, very true. You need to express yourself financially. You need to express your love financially to her. And there are some days where, yes, she might love you, and yes, you're broke at the moment and she might understand. But then there are some days where you would need to like express your love to her financially. Probably due to her needing some cash, or maybe you guys want to go on a date, or you want to invite her over, or she wants to like cook for you, or you want to cook for her, on her birthday you need to like get her gifts and all of that, or Valentine's Day and all of those nice stuff that's like try to like show and build two of you's love stronger. All this cannot work if you are a broke guy who is just looking for love. It can't work. It cannot work. So instead of focusing on getting into a relationship, and just like I said in the previous point, that I said you working on yourself, I mentioned spiritually, mentally, and financially. It is very important that you also work on yourself financially to be able to even finance your relationship, because a relationship can never work without money. It can't and it would. Don't believe whatever anybody tell you. And even the girl, if she tells you that don't worry, I love you for you and not for your money, I don't care without money, that's a big lie. She's just setting you up. The last but not the least reason for you not to get a girlfriend right now is that a girlfriend, that is you being in a relationship, should be the only thing missing from your life and not the sole purpose of your life. Now, a lot of people are being pressured to get into a relationship due to them trying to like fill a void in them, that is in themselves, or due to them feeling loneliness, and they feel getting a girlfriend or being in a relationship would make them the happiest person in their life, or make them successful or focused and all of that. But that is wrong. You need to be whole individually first as a person. You need to be comfortable with the possibility of you being single for the rest of your life. You need to be happy with yourself. You need to be content with yourself. And then the happiness you'll be deriving from a girlfriend, from a relationship, should be an extension. A perfect example I can use is a cake and an icing sugar, that is the toppings, what they call it. Now, you represent the cake and the icing sugar represents a girlfriend. Now, the icing sugar complements the cake. That is, the cake itself, it's sweet, and the icing sugar is even sweeter. But then when combined together, they complement each other. Now, The cake in itself can be eaten alone and you derive satisfaction from just eating the cake because it is sweet. And then the icing sugar in itself can be eaten alone, but then it's just so perfect when you combine two of them together. And that is exactly how you should look at yourself, because this just fits. This is like the perfect example to use. So you have to be content with yourself, be happy with yourself, be comfortable living with yourself, accept yourself for who you are, discover yourself, discover the misery in your life, because there are some days where you just discover new things and you be like, oh, so I can't believe I just did this. All of that. Just be content with yourself, be happy with yourself. Until you're happy with yourself and content with yourself, that is when you can now decide to bring someone into your life and also make them the happiest person in their own life. And so you have to, work on yourself, take into consideration all these things. And if for any reason you fall under this category, then you should know by this time that now isn't the best time to get into a relationship or to get a girlfriend. Now is the time to stay locked in and work on yourself individually as a person that is developing yourself and all of that. And don't feel pressured in any way. There's nothing wrong with you. You not having a girlfriend right now doesn't make you less of a person, doesn't mean you're not attractive. Trust me, there's the perfect woman for you, and now isn't just the best time for you to get into a relationship. And so please take into consideration, work on yourself, stay hard, stay locked in. You can make friends with girls, but don't extend it up to the point of like trying to find love, just like feel a void, an emptiness, or a loneliness. Be content with yourself, be satisfied with yourself, be comfortable with yourself, for yourself, and by yourself. And trust me, at the end of the day, the perfect woman will come naturally for you, and the woman that would reflect, the woman of your dreams that would reflect your values will come for you, and you live happily ever after. I know life is not like it's not like a movie, but then you finding the perfect woman for you when you are ready, it will just be the best thing that can ever happen to you in your life. And so yeah, that's the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed the video, ensure to give it a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe, and do all of those nice stuff, because it will really encourage me to like post more videos. And also, did I mention subscribe? Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And did I mention like? Yes, like the video so other viewers, other people that need to watch this video will as well come across this video. And even though you don't like the video, still like the video. And so to the next video, guys. Peace out.